Advertising is to get you to buy something you probably don't even need. You can't watch a TV show and see an ad for Tamiflu. The studies that were done on Tamiflu, not with a roadshow the company behind it wanted you to see, showed that it doesn't save you from a hospitalization, and it probably won't save any kid or adult's life if they took Tamiflu. It only shortens the flu at best a half to 3/4 of a day. The cost of it is $200 a person approximately. A family of four, you're talking $800 to shorten the flu at best at a half a day. When a couple of British researchers tried to look into it, they got a lot of roadblocks. The final conclusion was it's not as good as they claim. Now here's why it's selling. Good advertising and a fear of doctors with lawsuits. Because God forbid you didn't give the Tamiflu and something happens to the flu. They're going to say, but why didn't you give the Tamiflu? Even though the studies do not say it's going to save a life. I could be wrong, but the studies I looked at the last couple of days, nothing has changed since last year. So isn't advertising getting you something you don't need?
That's so funny you say that statement. I always point out again, when people bring up these types of things, and I'll say to them, look, if it's being heavily promoted and advertised, already become a little suspicious. Because yes, exactly, the goal of advertising is to get you to buy something you don't need. If you need to buy it, you don't need the advertising. So, and I always use the analogy of cars, where they will try to get you to trade in the car you couldn't even afford to keep, and they'll postpone your payments and put you further and further and further in debt. So I agree with you so much with that. And this, again, just to add to what you said about Tamiflu, as you know, with adults, it cuts down perhaps half a day. With children, they say there's not even any